Yes, friends. Welcome and good morning on this Friday morning to Jack, Virtual Jack.
Jack, Virtual Jack.
Oh, yours is on the different side to mine. How come that? Is that just because of the mirroring of video?
I think that's just because we're...
Okay. I just thought you might have a limited edition Jack jersey that I've not noticed before, which would be very exciting.
The executive.
So this is especially for those of you who are, missing being at school. Oh, yeah, right. Actually, I'm sure some of you probably are missing being at school. Missing being at school, missing coming into the Silverdale Centre on a Friday and eating biscuits and hanging out with us and talking about things that are going on in your life. Because this is a virtual recreation of that, Sam, which basically means you have to chat, just chat away for ages about not a lot.
Yeah. And in case any main early teachers are watching,
yes.
Now we're going to move into a time of what we like to call chat therapy.
Okay, it's got a name.
It's got a name.
Okay.
You give it a name, it sounds more intentional,
yes,
right? It sounds
it's
more
intentional. It's intentional.
Sounds like we thought about it beforehand.
We definitely thought about it beforehand.
Yeah.
Good. We hope those of you watching this are well and are surviving. What is this now? This is the end. This is week 6 of lockdown, is it? Week 6? Is that right?
Something like that.
Man alive. I had a weird experience last night, Sam. Can I tell you about it? And everyone else watching this?
Please.
I was watching a TV show, a popular TV show that we record every week on a Sunday night called Homeland. And it's very tense. And I was watching it last night. And as I was watching it, there was like a load of people in a room. There was like the president's, the Oval Office, and there was a big high-level political conversation going on. And my first reaction was like, oh my gosh, those people in that room aren't 2 meters apart. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I've been properly conditioned by lockdown. For a week, it was a genuine, these people are all too close together. That's weird.
That is weird. That is weird. It's going to be weird being able to be close together again, isn't it? Like when we see, so normally when I arrive on time on a Friday morning, which is every week.
Sorry, what? When you what? I thought you just said something that I couldn't relate to. Carry on.
I don't know if you remember. It's probably because it was like 6 weeks ago, and your memory, like you forgot.
That surely must be it. Yes.
So I used to turn up every Friday morning. I'd turn up exactly on time. Me and V would be there waiting for Chris, and then when we see Chris, we give him a hug, because that's how we greet each other, right?
That's true.
So what happens when we go back to school after lockdown? If it's on the 1st of June or the 12th of September or December the 19th, like whatever it is, are we gonna hug?
There's going to be a reticence, isn't there? We're going to be a little bit. Oh, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
because we've been conditioned.
I'm pro hug in that situation.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Pro hug.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw our good friend Steve, who used to be part of our Friday Jack team, who many of you will know. And I saw him in Asda the other day, and it's the first time I've seen him for like 6 weeks. I haven't seen him during the lockdown thing. And he was just walking away from the tills as I was approaching the tills. And I always hug Steve. And my first reaction was genuinely like, oh, I just want to, but I can't.
I want to give him a hug. Aww.
And then we had a conversation standing 2 meters apart by the sushi bit in Asda. And it was depressing.
That is a very depressing place, the sushi bit at Asda.
Yeah. I think it's almost entirely unnecessary.
You know, the thing about that sushi bit at Asda, right? Yeah. I used to walk past that thinking, those people stood there in their like hair nets and face masks. They look a bit ridiculous out here in public.
Now who's laughing?
Yeah, it comes to us all.
I still think it could have been used for something way better than a sushi bar.
Like an ice cream bar.
Any bar. A donut bar. Like,
Is sushi bar the worst kind of bar? And I like sushi, but is sushi the worst kind of bar?
I think in Asda, I don't think don't know. It'd be interesting to hear from you actually on this, friends. Do you go to Asda for sushi? I'm not sure people do. Really, I'm not sure people do. It's not what I associate. Waitrose, maybe. You know, the higher end supermarket. But I'm not sure it's like, oh, I know. It's Friday night. Let's go to Asda and get some sushi.
Yeah, who's doing that?
I don't think anyone's doing that.
No one's doing that.
No
one's doing that.
No. Anyway, Sam, what have you got up your sleeve today? We should do. Well, the first thing we normally do in a Jack session is make some drinks. I don't have a drink this morning. I've had a cup of tea already this morning, and I can't get another one.
It's falling apart. Like without V, I haven't had a drink in like nearly 2 months now. And
tragic. You could have. I could make you a hot chocolate or a cold chocolate or a warm chocolate.
I would love any of those things. I would love any of those things.
Cold chocolate. Cold chocolate.
I really would.
So it's hot.
Ah, those are the days.
I know. And they will be once again. It will be mine. Oh yes.
Should we do a 1 to 10 or something?
Yeah, let's do a 1 to 10. In the absence of drinks. Oh, biscuits. We could vote on biscuits. You got any biscuits?
Yeah, let's do.
You got any biscuits?
I don't.
Look at this. Look at this. I'm going to transport you back to your grandparents' house. I've got an old school biscuit tin, which is slightly beaten up. I don't know why. It looks a little bit in need of replacement. It feels pretty empty as well.
That's what I call rich tea rage.
Yeah.
That's when you open it and there's only rich teas in it and you chuck it on the floor.
There's a surprising selection of biscuits with which we're fairly familiar with in Jack. This shows you how much integrity I have in that, you know, all the Jack biscuits are also
you don't save the good ones just for your house.
It's out in my own home. So in here, there's the good old favourite custard cream. Everyone loves the custard cream.
Beautiful. Yeah. So over-engineered, the custard cream.
There's the, this isn't just any chocolate biscuit. This is a chocolate caramel biscuit.
Ooh.
Look, caramel. Caramel there. You see that?
I do. I see a caramel there. I'm kind of encompassed by it in a moment.
Oh, Sam's your favourite in here. The jam and cream. What did you call that on our video the other week?
Inner sadness.
Inner sadness.
That's what it creates in me, that biscuit.
Inner sadness. That's it.
Flatters to deceive.
That's all I've got in here. There's a lot of custard creams, a couple of jam and creams, a couple of chocolate thingies. It needs replenishing, I'm not going to lie.
Have you ever thought about the custard cream, right? Like, can you hold up a custard cream again, if you've got one there? Look at the art on the custard cream.
Beautiful.
Like, who's gone to that length? Like, that's incredible, isn't it?
That's detail, isn't it?
That's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Close up.
It's a beautiful
thing. Whoa! Extreme close up. Whoa. Yeah, that is good. Custard cream.
And what's for the little air holes?
Well, it's for air.
I've got lots of questions.
Ventilation.
You should get some sort of biscuit scientist on as a guest one.
Maybe next week you could dress up as a biscuit scientist and we'll be like, special guest, Dr. Drake Ramore, the biscuit scientist. I think clearly the custard cream needs to breathe.
Colonel Custard.
Yeah. So there you go. That's what biscuits I've got today. And I've taken a bite out of the chocolate caramel, so I'm going to carry on.
Please do. I'm glad you're not just shoving it back in the battered tin.
No, that would be repulsive. What have you got with you? Anything exciting? You got any biscuits with you?
I haven't got any biscuits. We completely don't have any biscuits. So the other day we actually baked some, which was amazing. But what I have with me now is a series of things. Most importantly, this little friend.
You saved him from the wreckage of the Silverdale Centre.
Yeah.
The multi-sensory Jack cow.
From the zombies.
Oh.
Saved him. Yep.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, keeping me company.
He is a multi-sensory cow, I recall.
He is. Look,
he makes a noise. He's got squidgy feet. He's got everything, hasn't he? I miss that guy.
He's delightful. Look at his little smile. His little smile.
Beautiful.
How can you not be happy?
Yeah. Next time we should try and set him up with his own separate Zoom ID so he can just sit in a third box on the screen and participate.
What have you got to say, Cal? Thanks, Cal.
Cow. Good work. So you've got no biscuits, but you've got a multi-sensory cow.
Yep. So who's laughing now?
That's true. That's true. Should we do a 1 to 10? Because we love
Please.
a Jack 1 to 10.
Let's
Often,
do 1 to 10.
those of you that are regular for Jack, and let's face it, if you're watching this, you probably are, will know that we like to talk about how we feel. And a good thing to do is reflect on that by doing a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being awful, 10 being amazing. So I haven't got any post-it notes, helpfully, with me at all. So, but Sam, have you got? Do you want to kick us off? Want to kick us off with a 1 to 10?
First.
Go for it.
You know what? I'm not going to do the traditional number 1 to 10.
Sorry.
Yes. So often, you guys that come see us in Jack, you know that we have these little things. These little things
yes.
Here, this little bag, which I've also saved from the wreckage. And
You saved a lot of things from the wreckage.
I mean, other people call it looting, but so I've got like these little symbols. So you can sometimes in Jack, you know that we will get these out as a way of showing how we're feeling.
Yes.
And some of them are really happy ones, like this little fella. He's having a great time.
Oh, he's lovely. Look
and then obviously this guy I just showed you, not so happy. And there's a whole range. And right now, I would say I am probably feeling this one.
It's a storm cloud.
Really see, but there you go. It's a little storm cloud.
Tell us for why. Tell us for why.
I would say for several reasons. 2, but I'll go with 2. Number 1, it's supposed to be getting married on Saturday.
Oh, yes, this Saturday. Oh, man.
This Saturday. So this week, for me, I'll be honest, it's a bit sad. And it's even sadder than I was expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be quite a difficult week, but it's a really difficult week this week, thinking about that. However, also, it's supposed to be an actual thunderstorm at some point, maybe today, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I quite like a thunderstorm because they're pretty epic. But also, so that gives me something a little bit to look forward to, that something epic is going to happen when there's suddenly like thunder and lightning.
You look forward to a thunderstorm?
I look forward to a thunderstorm. I love a thunderstorm. I think they're awesome. I think it's like, nature on a huge scale. Like we don't really exactly get tornadoes and stuff, do we? So that's really cool.
That's true, we don't.
So using that as sort of like a little bit of a metaphor, I'm at the same time devastated that my wedding isn't happening this weekend, and I'm really sad about that. But I'm also super excited about this epic thing that's going to happen in the future, which is that I am still going to get married and there is still going to be a wedding. I just don't know when it's going to happen. So my life feels a bit stormy at the moment because I'm at the same time really devastated and really excited.
I'm so sorry. And it totally passed me by that it was this weekend as well.
Well, all week's blended into one. It snuck up on me.
It's weird, isn't it? Because like April feels like it's gone like that. Whereas March lasted about 76 or 77 days, didn't it?
Yeah, like March was the longest March on record, wasn't it?
Yeah, I definitely passed March the 61st at some point.
Since records began.
Yeah.
The longest March of all time.
The longest March. Whereas April's gone really quick. Oh, mate.
So that's me. Stormy.
So you're a bit of a thunderstorm.
Bit stormy, mate. Bit stormy.
That is stormy. And I don't blame you. And you've got a good reason to be stormy. I was going to be a 7. But since you told me that, I'm going to go with a 6. There's a 6 on my phone.
It's the Jack app.
It's the. You could simply type a number and it'll present it on your screen. 6 out of 10. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit classically discombobulated today. Yeah. I think a lot of people are kind of coming to terms with, I hope they are anyway, being okay with not being okay. So we want to say to you, friends out there, if you're not feeling okay, it's okay not to be okay. I was in a meeting, like a Zoom meeting earlier on this morning, and with some colleagues, and there's a lady in there. She won't mind me saying this. She probably won't ever see this, or probably nobody that knows it will end up seeing this. She has had a little bit of a difficult year for various reasons, and we went around this morning asking how everyone was doing. and she burst into tears because for the first time she got in a pair of jeans that she hasn't been able to get into for 6 months, and she literally lost it. And I was like, wow, as a nation, we are really close to the edge. And fair play to
it is so true. It's so true. And I think it's important to remember, for me, for you, for that lady, for all of us, that it's not, I know everyone says this all the time, but like, it's not just us, but specifically you listening or watching this right now, it's not just you. If you have crap days, if you have days during all this where you feel miserable or you feel, I disappeared then. Did you see that?
Sam, you momentarily turned into a bunch of bananas on my screen, which is kind of...
It happens. It's my superpower. Don't tell anyone.
Okay, no. Carry on. If you have days where... Yeah.
If you have days where you feel like particularly crap or particularly low or particularly frustrated or angry, or you feel kind of that weird sort of claustrophobic, unsettled, like I just want to scream or punch something, or if you find yourself getting annoyed with people really quickly for no apparent reason, like, we're all going through it. We're all suffering. You are not alone. It is not some deficiency in you. You are not necessarily like broken or worse or less than anybody else. It's just this is a difficult time for all of us, and we've all just got to try our best to get through it, and we've all got to try our best to like have a beautiful word called grace for each other. So basically some understanding.
Yes. Totally.
I was listening to a thing, and I know that this video is probably already getting long. So I was listening to a thing.
We haven't got anything else
the other day.
We haven't got anything else to do, let's be honest.
To be fair. I was listening to this amazing thing the other day, and it was saying, it was a guy talking about this other man who was a prominent scientist, and this prominent scientist had done a series of studies all around, I think it was in America, all around America, or using all different techniques to try and work out what was the best methodology to help people overcome addiction. Okay. So what was like the number one way that they wanted to find a method, like a system or a program or a method that would help people recover quickly.
Yeah.
And they were a bit frustrated when they got to the end of the study, because basically pretty much most of the methods all worked just about the same. There was no great difference between the different methods of overcoming addiction.
Okay.
They said what was the difference maker, what was the main thing that changed how somebody recovered from addiction or not, was how empathetic the person doing the method was. So how much compassion they received from the people running it.
Okay.
Was the number one way that people overcame addiction, which was the number one factor on whether this particular rehab program or chat with your doctor or strange method of overcoming addiction worked, was how much compassion and empathy the person running it had for them.
Oh, wow.
Which I think is really beautiful.
Yeah.
And like properly powerful idea that us having some empathy, us having some compassion, us having some love really for the people around us that are struggling is the number one way of helping them recover from the thing that they're struggling with.
Totally.
And I think that probably is across the board, not just with addiction.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're struggling or you've got people around you struggling, it sounds a bit, cliche, but genuinely being compassionate to that person, not getting frustrated or annoyed with them if you can, but trying to help them, trying to love them, trying to appreciate and understand what they're going through is the number one way that situation will change. Maybe
even more important than trying to solve it, or trying to say the right things, do the right things, fix the situation for that person.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's true for ourselves, isn't it? As well as being kind and showing that empathy towards other people, we've got to do that for ourselves as well. So this whole, it's okay not to be okay thing, we talk about this a lot in Jack on Fridays, being kind to yourself, not being too hard on yourself. There's plenty of people that can be quite hard towards us and, hit us over the head with things that we need to be doing or get done or have done yesterday or do better. And that might be legit and that's right. And that's just part of life. But we also have to be kind to ourselves and not be our own harshest kind of critic and judge in those situations as well, don't we?
Absolutely. it's very easy to walk away from a time when you have like I don't know about you guys, but for me, often if I get in a particularly bad mood or say something a bit, unfair or get a bit upset or something, it's very easy for me to get a bit self-condemning about it and get a bit kind of start beating myself up about it. And then, an hour later, it's a whole lot worse than it ever needed to be because I've just spent an hour beating myself up about what a terrible person I am for actually the original thing probably being super just human,
Yeah.
So
cool. Let's go. Some good thoughts there, Sam, on a Friday morning for us in our regular Jack session. And now it's getting towards that time. We're past morning break. We're in that morning period of time where our focus is starting to turn towards lunch, which,
absolutely,
as you know, is always a difficult time for us. Any of you that have been with us during third lesson will know that Sam and me are not at our best, are we? Because the sad realization of what might be for lunch is replaced by the reality of Tesco sandwiches.
We've tried so many different methods, and yet,
yeah. Shout out to those of you that occasionally pop in during your lunch break. I'm thinking of like Suck and Rudy in particular, and any others that pop in and just provide moral support to me and Sam in those times. Well, we're moaning about what crap soup we've bought or something like that. Or me in particular. I'm the worst, aren't I? I'm like
halfway through a Herbies normally. Halfway through a Herbies.
We had a Herbies the last day of term, didn't we? Because we knew last Friday we were in for ages. It's like, sack it, let's have Herbies. Yeah.
Well, maybe it's just as coronavirus was kicking off, let's go to Herbies.
Because we're going to get ill anyway, let's get Herbies.
Let's go Herbies. Props to Herbies. I love Herbies.
Yeah. Love Herbies. Anyway, so we're going to go and prayerfully consider what we're going to have for lunch. And friends, we hope you are okay. Hope that you are surviving in this time. And if you're not, maybe look at some of the other videos that we've posted over the last few weeks. Some of them around how we kind of process our own emotions, how we workshop things, whether we're internal processors, people where we like to be alone with our thoughts, or whether we need people to bounce things off. Maybe some of those 3 things videos that we posted up in the last couple of weeks about things to look around to help us just, cope in a better way in this time. Things that we can be appreciative of, people we're grateful for. Look at some of that stuff. And if you can't do that, just, giggle at me and Sam waffling away about nothing. Things like that.
Yeah, we love you guys. Go easy on yourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll be back again with another session this week. There's also all the really fantastic Outside with V videos that V is putting up a few times a week. Just great things because she's, lives outdoors, lives and breathes the outdoors. Nothing is going to hold V back. No virus, no nothing. She's going to be out there on a bike or running around, and she's putting up some really quick videos of helpful ideas and thoughts that you can all do during your exercise times outside, even if it is, drawing pictures on the floor with chalk or whatever the last one was about.
Amazing. I love it. I love a chalk drawing.
I know. Absolutely. Right, Sam, this has been a pleasure. I hope you have a nice rest of your day. And,
thank you kindly, and you.
Yes, indeed. And to all of you, we'll see you again next week with our main Jack session, and probably in between with a few bits and pieces as well. Lots of love, blessings. See you soon.
Bye.